Mono Black Midrange versus Go Mana 2. Yes. This is an absolutely keeper. I'm gonna take that thing because that seems to me that it helps them dig for stuff. But after that, I'm out of ways. Okay, that's good. That was a good top deck, to be honest. Because I do need to apply pressure right now. I'm not sure how the opponent cheats the Omniscience onto the battlefield. Now they can bounce this back to my hand easily, but that's one less card in the opponent's hand. Ooh, they're targeting that. Why? Do they want to discard, or what's the play here? Okay, yeah, one timely Thoughtseize, and I feel like I picked the right card there. I saw that their hand was basically all of the payoff cards or omnisciences. So yeah, preventing them from digging for the thing that they need to put it into the battlefield, I think was the right choice there. And then thanks to a well-drawn, timely drawn Graveyard Trespasser, really able to apply pressure early enough to not give the opponent too much time to draw into what they need. Okay, Mono Black Midrange, game 1, victory. On to the next one. Mono Black Midrange versus El Loco Bruxens. Yes. Ooh, okay, Blade Cover Scout. Well, good news is this and this are both pretty decent here. Now, I know they can give their Scout First Strike, which makes this Aetherborn a little less effective, but oh, and a Liliana too, so we've got some options here. Yeah. Ooh. I think this Liliana is gonna be huge. No, I don't think it. I know it. Yep.
Must be made.
And then I have this as well, so I can Duress and Edict. But yeah. And this is, I mean, Mono Black is probably one of the worst matchups for the Selesnya Auras deck in exactly for these three reasons. Aetherborn, Edict, and Liliana. They cannot deal with you making them sacrifice their creatures, because then they cannot protect using the Shard Mage's Rescue. Also, Death Touch is pretty helpful unless they have First Strike or Sheltered by Ghosts. But yeah, that was a very clean and quick win and taking apart Selesnya Auras. On to the next game. Selesnya Auras versus JJ. Yes. Oh, these curves are pretty good at the moment. Had some pretty decent draws, I would say. Oh my goodness. Let's take one of their Thoughtseizes. Yeah, I know they don't want to see those. And that's why I took a Thoughtseize, because I wanted to ensure I see that they have graveyard stuff, at least here with Can't Stay Away, so having the Trespasser is very crucial here. And now it's all on the Trespasser here too. I'm actually gonna still pick theirs. Okay, my Trespasser, can you survive? I'm gonna take out this because it'll prevent them from being able to use the Deadly Dispute. Oh, that was amazing. And this is gonna that's probably gonna end the game here. Because now they have so much. The value from the Fable plus Liliana is just gonna go ahead. But I'll plus my Liliana too, why not? So that was a pretty decent draw here from my side too.
I'm tired of your secrets.
Wow, this is gonna be... This is a Liliana battle.
One of your friends has to leave.
Now they can unfortunately flash back there. Oh, and yeah, this is their value. I need the Annex or just probably die.
Don't overthink things.
That's terrible.
Drop it.
And now they're pretty much ahead. The card selection from the Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Their Liliana being ahead. They can reanimate the Blood Tithe Harvester at any point in time where they want to do that. So unfortunately, yeah, I wasn't able to get ahead here, mainly because of the Fable, because that's just a 3-for-1 basically. And let's see what they do here.
Don't overthink things. You picked a fight with the wrong necromancer. You won't be outsmarting me.
I mean, a Castle Locthwain is not too bad, but they're just too far ahead here. I'm gonna need so many cards to get back into this, even remotely. And they already have answers like lying on the table all over the place too. They have so much mana available.
Knew this was a waste of time.
I'm already down to 10. Whichever creature, if I draw a creature, whichever creature I play, they will just minus Liliana and it's just gonna die anyway, so... Even 2 Aetherborns not gonna help me. And this now prevents me from using the castle again, so... They can also cycle through their cards.
Sacrifices must be made.
Yeah, GG. Alright, but I'm fair enough. I will allow the opponent to play this up to out to the end. Wait, what? Creatures and planeswalkers. Oh, creatures you control have lifelink. Okay, that's interesting. To target player or planeswalker. Yeah, not a bad card. Yeah, I'll allow them to do this interaction because this is pretty interesting. They can... Okay, no. Why didn't they attack with these two? Ah, okay, now they're gonna do it. Oh, can they chain this forever? No, they can't. Only as much mana as they have. Because there's going to be another combat phase, right? Pretty strong. But yeah, this game was decided at the moment when they had their turn. Their Fable, Liliana, and second Fable was what won them the game. Fair enough, fair and square. On to the next game we go. Once I have received the final point of combat damage here. Alright, let's keep going. Mono black midrange versus the mighty Luke 1975. Okay, this is one too many swamps, but it's fine. Discard, creature, removal. Oh god. I'm gonna take that because that's very difficult for me to get rid of. They're gonna Thoughtseize back. They're gonna take the No, they don't even need to take the Aetherborn, to be honest, because they have removal for it. They also have the Castle Locthwain, so that's gonna be... Well, let's make them use removal here. They actually have the Liliana. They have an answer to the Liliana, so I'm just gonna ditch her. I'm pretty happy about this, to be honest. I really want to get to 5 lands. This is gonna be quite big and actually... Okay, next turn I can Invoke Despair. That's going to be huge. I hope they play a creature here, which I can then kill. Okay, and it's perfect. Okay, that's pretty good. This Invoke Despair is going to be beautiful. I will draw with the castle. This will produce black, right? Okay. Yep, I have to get rid of the creature and the talent. Perfect. Very good invoke here. They have their Castle Locthwain, I have my Castle Locthwain. I can do this and then have my Mutavault up. In order to sacrifice that to the Edict. Whew. Good game. So far. So far. It's not over. That's not what I'm saying. If they cast Locthwain, they're going to take 5 damage for doing it. It's quite a lot. I think, yeah, the opponent may be a little upset about how this game turned out. But that was one of the best Invoke Despairs I've seen. Hitting exactly a creature that you don't want to target and hitting an enchantment, which is difficult for me to deal with. And yeah, proactively ditching Liliana because they would have just edicted her and I would have just discarded and they would have discarded. So I wouldn't have gained almost nothing there. And hitting lands for the Invoke Despair was way more important. Yeah, this Mutavault is doing a lot of work protecting this Liliana from the Sheoldred's Edict. Okay, and untapping with a Sheoldred. This should be game. And I think the opponent is, yeah, they're roping. They may have already left the game. But that's fine. Another victory it is for Mono Black Midrange versus a kind of mirror. They have a little bit a different approach. I don't run the Bandit's talent, for example. This should be the last rope. Yes. Okay, on to the next game. Mono Black Midrange versus the Virtuous Justice Johnny. Another Virtuous one. Oh, okay. Again, the Thoughtseize. Wow. And an Annex. And a push. This is, again, we've been pretty lucky today with these starting hands. Is taking their time to decide whether or not to go for a mulligan. It is taking longer than expected. And I hear these noises in the background, I know it's the opponent's pet, but I don't know which one it is. I'd be interested to see. Oh, I can just click new battlefield. Ah, it's the electric dog. Okay. Oof. Ouch. Ouchie daisies. Let's go for Thoughtseize and hope that we hit something like this. Now, removal is not going to help me much because they have God's Willing. So I can just hope that they don't draw creatures. Oh, triple Sheoldred. I hope I dodge a creature the next 2 turns or something, because... But I still think going for that was the right play, but ooh. This can go south. Okay. I think I'm gonna play the Sheoldred. Because it has Death Touch. That way I don't need to interact with the opponent, but the God's Willing can give them, oh, it'll just give them protection from a color. Okay, they're scrying, I see. Could have potentially kept that flash Fatal Push there as well, but then they wouldn't have played it like this, I think. Can I survive this turn? What's that gonna do? A wicked roll, okay. Interesting. It's down to 5. I'm down to 12. I think I might be able to win. Okay, they used up their mana at least, so... I think I'm good here. Oh no, they got a treasure. Okay, okay. Yeah, we won. All good, all good. Kill that. And attack for 4 and then Sheoldred in the upkeep. Okay, whew, that was close. I think that Thoughtseize was very key at the beginning though, because it stalled them for long enough. Like that slick shot on turn 2, like plotting it on 2 and then playing it on 3 with all of these God's Willings or these Witches marks would have been probably too much to handle. So just even the God's Willing being copied twice would have been enough. So yeah, Sheoldred, and thanks to Sheoldred, able to win here and on the counter-offensive this early, because if the opponent's life total was still much higher, then I would probably have to consider if I can even attack with Sheoldred. Probably not, but then their thing has Menace. Like, I would have taken more turns to destroy them, to defeat them, which in turn would have given them way more opportunities to deal with my stuff. So I think that was, yeah, that went pretty well. I'm not used to the deck that the opponent is playing. I haven't seen it in this form before. But yeah, it is a victory. And it's 4-1 for Mono Black Midrange. So let's head over to the recap. Alrighty, Mono Black Midrange. This has got to be one of my favorite decks. But I like a lot of decks, but this, like, I don't know. This one I really enjoy playing this because it's so black. Because it has so many swamps. No, I think it's very flexible considering that it is just a one single color deck, right? So that's something that makes it very appealing. But let's take a look at the deck. So being mono black, 15 swamps is definitely what you want. But thanks to the... And actually, one second. There's no reason for Urborg not to be in the deck. So let me fix that real quick. That was a mistake on my part. There you go. That's much better. Because Urborg will make all your decks, all the lands that produce colorless mana, like the Mutavault and the Field of Ruin, produce black mana, which makes you be able to play those more consistently. So yeah, it's a minor difference, but it can make a difference, like being able to play a Gifted Aetherborn on 2 with an Urborg and a Mutavault, for example, is an option. Okay, but land-wise, we have 3 Castle Locthwains, amazing card advantage, and together with Sheoldred, you can also somewhat mitigate the life loss, or with an Aetherborn attacking, you can also mitigate the life loss. Talking about that, we can see here that this deck has life gain, which is something I really enjoy and like about the deck. It's always nice to be able to regain life if the opponent has gotten you low. We have a Takenuma for value, 2 Field of Ruins to deal with problematic non-basic lands, and 4 Mutavaults. Absolutely key in this deck specifically because it's all creature types and it triggers the Unholy Annex more reliably and consistently than just relying on creating the 6/6 demon, which is a heavy mana investment, but just paying 1, and it can even be the Mutavault itself, is really, really helpful. Okay, but what about the rest of the deck? What about the cards in the deck? Well, we have 4 Thoughtseize, 2 Duress. This is your key interaction package with the opponent. Getting to see their hand and taking out something from it that bothers you will win you a few games, like in between, just in itself, but also just prepares you better for what's coming up. You immediately know what the opponent is playing most of the time, and also you can really deal with things that you wouldn't be able to deal with otherwise, or that once they enter the battlefield are just problematic to deal with. Then we have a very, very good spot removal or sacrifice package for Fatal Push, 2 Go for the Throat, 2 Edicts, so being able to deal with creatures without targeting them, and dealing with planeswalkers is big. 2 Lilianas, because this thing can also run away with games here and there as well on her own, and a charm to exile creatures if you need to, and have another way to deal with planeswalkers. So we're dealing with all kinds of creatures in many different ways, so this is a very reliable removal suite. Then we have the Gifted Aetherborn and Sheoldred. Both have Death Touch, so they're also considered removal. They either have lifelink or the ability from the Sheoldred, so they gain you life. So they're good threats, good defense, and good abilities to stabilize and attack or defend. The Trespasser is good on the offense and defense as well, mainly offense, deals with stuff in graveyards, and is more annoying to get rid of from the opponent's side because it has the ward discard a card. So a very good creature package here. And then last but not least, we have the enchantment and the sorcery. And this enchantment is what takes this deck to the next level, I would say. 3 mana, draw an extra card at the end of your turn and lose 2 life. But if you have a demon, which you can create by using the other half of this card, or by activating the Mutavault, you can consistently also deal damage to the opponent, not lose damage, not lose life on your own. You will even gain life. And using the second side to make a 6/6 demon can also be used aggressively or defensively. So much value in this card. Always want to drop this onto the battlefield whenever you can. Unless you're being pressured too much and you have to destroy or deal with the opponent's stuff first, then you have to hold off. But generally, you want to drop this as soon as you can. And last but not least, the Invoke Despair. A great kind of answer to all, because it deals with planeswalkers, enchantments, and creatures. Not targeted, but in a certain way. It's also card advantage, and it gives black a way to further make the opponent sacrifice a creature, deal with a planeswalker, and in this case, even dealing with enchantments, which is something that black isn't usually able to do. So as you can see, you're able to deal with creatures, planeswalkers, and to some extent even with enchantments, but also are able to target the opponent's graveyard using the Trespasser. So you are very flexible in tackling the opponent in many ways, except artifacts, but in that case, Thoughtseize can potentially help you as well. So yeah, a very flexible deck, despite it being one color only, and definitely one of the decks that I always go back to when playing Pioneer. And yep, I haven't forgotten about Pioneer. When a new set comes out, I do focus on Standard for the first week or two, but then I start to go back to Standard and Pioneer, switching between the formats. But enough talk from my side. Let's look at some flavor text. Let's go with the Invoke Despair. Although officials said it was a sewer failure, the people whispered that it was a warning of Night's Reach. And on that note, thanks for watching, have fun, see you in the arena, and peace.